What's up everyone, and welcome to a very different video. And today I want to try like a little gameplay video. I want to welcome you to a pretty addictive game called The Farmer Was Replaced. I have played it a bit, disclaimer, yeah, so I do understand it somewhat, but this is actually such a sick game. I really like it. So yeah, I'm really excited to be honest. So, new game. What? Yeah, save it. Cool. Play. So when we click play, this is basically a coding little game where you code the drone to perform some actions. So, getting started, this window contains information about everything in the game. Perfect. You can move your windows around by dragging and dropping. That's pretty easy. And we click on that to get to our first program, and then it just explains us a bunch of things. So this little button will just make the entire program run. However, this one is like stepping through each line of code. And yeah, I guess code files are created and destroyed like that. And the only statements that are available is do a flip and harvest. So in our little main window, we can left click and do harvest. And we click play and it harvests. And you'll see here in the top left, we've got a little hay icon, and that is obtained by cutting grass. We have one. Right, so on a few clicks that happens, and if we do a underscore, I nearly said clip flip, we do a flip. That's really cool. Right, if we click on unlocks, we get like this little skill tree, if you will. So we can unlock loops when we have 5 hay. Right, so let us harvest once more. And as you can see on the left hand side, we have harvest. What we can do is just copy that 5 times, and as you can see, as it runs through the little program, it'll harvest 5 times and then end. Going to unlocks, we unlock our while loop. Okay, so this is our first little while loop. You have unlocked the while loop, and the values true and false. That's pretty cool. So the while loop keeps executing the loop body as long as the condition is true. So we can say while true, and the semicolon is basically a do or a then, and we do harvest. So while true, we harvest, and it'll always be true, so it'll always harvest. Pretty cool. What we can do is stop that and do a flip in between. Harvest, do a flip, harvest, do a flip, harvest, do a flip. But that is quite annoying. So, as you can hear, the sound of the game, I'll admit, is okay in the beginning, but it really gets annoying super quickly. So, what I'll do is audio, turn it down. And I'll have a nice sleek soundtrack running in the background. What I also want to do is, because this game is compatible with VS Code, I want to do this. Right, so we are able to open our save files in game in VS Code or any editor you have. I also have Sublime Text, but I'll just use VS Code because I'm most familiar with it, and at the moment I really enjoy using it. So what I'll do is click on information, external editor, just so that I can go to the folder that I need, and I want to open folder, new game. This is our game, and yes, I trust the author. I'm the author. What do you mean? Okay, new game has nothing in it yet. we'll have to save it first and then click play again. Right, so in our main we already have the while harvest true. So I think it was from underscore built-ins underscore dot py import all, and if we save in VS it updates in our little thingy over here, and we can keep running that at will. Okay, actually I'm going to turn down the sound a bit more, like barely audible. Okay, going to unlocks, we can unlock or increase the yield of our grass, or we can increase our speed. Let's do speed first. So because we are harvesting really quickly, we get a new function and provides a better condition. So if we can harvest, then we harvest. So while true, if can underscore harvest, then we harvest. We save it and run it. So because the drone is too quick for the grass to grow, it waits until you can harvest and then it harvests. So that's pretty sick. Now I'm going to our unlocks because we are ready to unlock our next thingy over here. Our grass now yields 2 and not 1 on every harvest, which is pretty sick. Right. Next, our skill tree. A plant unlock. So we unlock planting. We also have a possible speed increase, but this requires wood to unlock, which we don't have yet. So that is a thing. We also have an expand. So I guess let's expand. Right, those we can close down. Having a look at what it says. Let's see, your farm has grown. The space is not much use if you can't move the drone. So here's a new function, move, that moves the drone. Right. Move requires that you specify the direction. We've got northeast, south, and west. So that is pretty logical. What we'll do is, if we can harvest, we harvest, and then we move. Right, we'll go north. Save that and run that. So it'll go north and it'll just do its thing. Right, I want to unlock plant as well. So what plant allows us to do is, grass is nice because it grows automatically. All the other plants have to be planted with plant function. Right, the only plant you can plant right now is a bush, and we'll do that with that. Okay, this plant, well, this will plant a bush under the drone. Call clear to reset the farm to all grass and reset the drone position. So in good coding practice, we'll always clear everything before we start our new function, if you will. Our new process is a better word for it. So what I want to do is, if we can harvest, we harvest. And before we move, I want to plant. And what do I want to plant? Entities.bush. That is what I want to plant. Saving and rerunning it. It harvests, plants, waits until it can harvest, and harvests. As soon as it's harvested, it plants another bush. And as you can see on the top left, we are gaining some wood. Right. We need 20 wood to expand, so from a 1x3 to a 3x3. We could possibly also go to operators, arithmetic, comparison, and operators. Or we could go for sensors. The drone can see what's under it and where it is. I think let's go for an expansion. maybe? Arithmetic, comparisons, and logic operators. Got functions, variables. I think variables could be decent, but we need carrots for that. Let's go for operators. Let's see what we've got here. So in operators, we've got addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I cannot recall what that is. That is modulus, and that is something else, right? We'll see. And then we've got equals to, not equal to, smaller or equal to, larger or equal to, smaller than, larger than. Not and or are used to combine truth values. Does the same thing as that, but the result is flawed, rounded down. Okay, that makes sense. So it's basically a division, but truncated or flawed. And yeah, okay, 2 to the power. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, logic operators, true and false. Okay, let's see what we can do with that. What else can we unlock at the moment? We can get sensors. We cannot get sensors. So let's get some grass. Get some grass. I guess we can buy an upgrade, that's fine. Wait until we have enough grass and then we unlock sensors. Okay, well, this is where it gets a bit complicated, right? So, sensors, the drone can see now. That's pretty sick. Right, the functions get position X and get position Y return the current X and Y position of the drone. At the start, the position are both 0 and 0. How can I easily explain some things? Do I have a whiteboard? I do not installed at least, so whiteboard. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's fine as long as it functions. I'm happy with that. Okay, so while that's opening up and loading, we got a ton of grass. Okay, so we also have a get entity type, which returns the type as well as a get ground type. Also a number of items, and that is just the count here at the top left. And none is a value that represents there is no value, so that's also possible now. Okay, start drawing. Just create a whiteboard. Okay, so we have our little grid, right? Actually, let me do something a bit to scale. What? Sorry, I'm not familiar with this, eh? Right, so we've got a little grid. So we have 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So over here we'll be on 0, 0. Over here we will be on 1 and 1. Over here we will be on 1, 0, right? Because our x value comes first, and then our little y value. Over here we have 0 and 2. So that's kind of the logic behind that. So let's see, what can we do? I guess the easiest way is to do something like this. If get position y, right? If our y position is equal to 2, then we move east. Right, so we'll move up and move up. When we get there, we move over, harvest, and go up. Or we could also just move north. How about that? So let's see if that works. So what we want to do is harvest before we go anywhere else. Because as you've seen before, when we didn't have the harvest right, because it moves and then we check its position, we need to harvest if it's the last block, and then we can continue moving on, right? Okay. That's pretty cool. Right, now I just want to do something else. What did we have here? This was the expand. We also have for loops now, and that's pretty cool. We need all about the for loop on the for loop page, which does not exist. So this was our first expansion. Unlocks expand to, here we go. Get world size. I think I want to go for variables next. So let's grab some wood, right? So let's plant entities, yeah, dot bush, and get some bushes, right? So that we can gain some wood and get some variables. That'll make our processes so much easier. Right. So if we use a for loop like this, it could be cool, because then we be like, hey, for the length of this little, row, we move up, and then if we get to the top, we move one over and go to the front and go through it. Right. So we can do that as soon as we unlocked variables. Because I don't want to be retyping functions all of the time. That's why variables are so important. We need carrots. Okay. Right, so before you can plant carrots with plant entity carrots, you have to do two new things. First, carrots can only grow on tilled soil. To till the soil, simply call till. Right, calling till again will change it back to grounds.turf. Okay. And the second new feature is that carrots need seeds to grow. You can buy carrot seeds with the new trade function. You have to pass an item type to trade like this. Items are carrot seed. Okay, if the item can be bought, then it will be bought with this. And you can see the cost of any item in its tooltip. Well, the item name and code. Okay. Well, what I want to do is, first of all, let's copy this trade and paste it in a little test program. Or what do we buy? Tooltip trade cost. It costs 1 wood and 1 hay. Okay, so let's get like 5 of them. 10. I like round numbers. And we can close that out. So we have some seeds now. Okay. Let's have this run in the background until we have figured out a little program here. So what I want to do is, while true, right, we want to continue moving. So let's try the for loop. So for I, how did their for loops work again? For I in range, what range is get underscore world size. So basically for the world's size, we want to go forward. So what we'll do is basically, yeah, let's move, right? Move north. And then if can harvest, then harvest, right? So we move north, harvest and plant. Then we say if we are at the top, we harvest, plant, and move again. And then it'll just repeat. I think what we'll have to do is get world size -1, because the world size is 3. So 1, 2, 3. It'll move 3 times if we tell the range of 3. So if we look at our blocks over here, if we are here, it'll move once to here, twice to here, and then 3 times all the way back. That is why we do -1, so that we do 1 less move north. Am I right? So if I delete that, I save it, what's happening then? So we move. If we can harvest, we harvest. I see. So this just needs to hop in there. That is so annoying. That is so annoying. So let's not do that. Okay, I think we just insert a new statement. If get ground type, right? If the ground type is ground dot turf, because right now we want to be planting carrots, right? We need carrots, so we'll pull the ground, right? And we only have 2 ground types at the moment. Carrots, is that a thing? Yeah, it is. Okay, so what we'll do is, if the ground type is turf, right, which means it's grass, then we till it before we plant carrots. Okay, otherwise we just plant carrots because then it is already tilled. And that is after we harvested. Harvest. Okay. There is something else we need to do though, right? Because every time you use a seed, we need to get a new seed, right? So what I'm thinking, we only plant if our number of items dot carrot seed, hello, carrot seed, right, is larger than 10, right? Else, so so we plant carrots if there are enough seeds. Otherwise, Otherwise what? Otherwise we just buy seeds and then plant. So I think after we plant a carrot, it's good practice to buy a new seed. Anyway, so we can do that. And that just goes in there. That should be good. Okay. That's pretty cool. We have automated it quite decently. And as you can see, it's becoming quite the little program. And I dig it. I think it's so cool. It's like a little puzzle game as well. You know, just jamming some farming simulator, but coding. I dig it. It is so cool. And this is so addictive. Okay, we no longer have seeds. Right, if we can harvest, we harvest. If the ground type is turf, then we till. Otherwise we plant. And remember when I told you that we need to buy more seeds after we planted? Yeah, this is that scenario. I messed up my code a bit here. So if we run that, that should be better. Let's see what it does. Little piggy bank drone. I don't know how it's flying with only 2 propellers though. That's masterful. Okay, so it seems to be doing its thing now. However, it's still getting stuck somewhere. Why? If can harvest. So it can't harvest. If it can't harvest, else we'll just plant entities dot grass. So maybe we need to get a new turf check, right? So if the ground is turf, we'll plant grass, right? Else we will till it and then plant grass. Maybe that works better now. What? I mean, if we can harvest, then we harvest. So, and if not, can harvest. Save that. No. Why does it do that? Maybe because of this. When we plant, we need to move. Right? We move. We can't be standing still after our action. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? So we'll always be planting carrots and stuff. Okay, variables, finally. Right, and with that, I'm gonna greet you for this episode. I think it's a pretty cool game. It's a cute little game. I dig it. You can close it out and hop in and, you know, browse our little farming setup. I think it's really cool. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you do, just let me know and I'll post some more of it. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. You know, I don't always know what to say, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good day and peace out.